Well, 3 New Zealand MPs have been suspended for performing the haka during a sitting of Parliament. The Māori Party MPs were protesting a controversial bill which aimed to redefine the country's founding treaty with Māori people. The group said the bill would reverse Indigenous rights in New Zealand. One MP received a 7-day ban, the other 2 have been barred for 21 days. It's the longest suspension any New Zealand lawmaker has received.
This House calls it disorderly. We call it an elevation of our Indigenous voice. A declaration that Māori will never surrender the mana of Te Tiriti o Waitangi. This punishment is not about noise control or standing orders. It is a warning shot from the colonial state that cannot stomach Indigenous defiance.
Why am I being punished twice 8 months later? Yet a member can swear at another member. A member of cabinet can lay their hands on a staff member. A member can drive up the steps of Parliament. A member can swear in Parliament. Yet they weren't even given 5 minutes of suspension. But no, when we stand up for the country's foundational document, we get punished twice with the most severe consequences in the world.
I'm joined now by Māori Party co-leader Debbie Ngarewa-Packer, who's been handed a 21-day suspension and comes to us from Taranaki in New Zealand. Good morning, welcome to the program.
Morning.
What's your reaction to this suspension that you and your colleagues have received?
We went into this with the context of knowing that we have a political landscape in New Zealand that is very like we've finished watching earlier, where the Trumpism has taken a hold of an extreme right-wing government, which is the first time for us in New Zealand. So we've got some tones that are going on that are suppressing dissent, that are taking quite an overreach of power to any other views. And we're seeing an erasure of Indigenous rights with a lot of legislation that's been run through urgency to attack the treaty. So I want to say that we were surprised, but we weren't. That's the lay of the land politically for us as Māori at the moment.
And we are seeing some of the vision here of, I believe it's you and some of your colleagues there on the floor doing a haka. Can you just explain to us what that meant, sharing that element of your culture in that chamber at that time?
Thank you. It's the first time I've been asked this question with all the international media. Yeah. I think first and foremost, what we saw was the legislative might being used to attack the treaty, which for us is attacking our culture and our genealogy. So to reply in the haka, and you would recognise that haka, it's been used thousands of times in rugby and sports, in graduations across the world. So for us, it was about responding in the most honest way that we could, standing in our own truth as Māori. It was indeed meant to be a challenge because the whole debate was a challenge. But yeah, what we've seen is the twist and the spin of the right-wing, comms, that it's intimidating, that it was violent, that, the whole demonisation. But actually it was the only honest Indigenous response to quite a vile attack on us and our very existence. So it felt deeply sad, but also right. It was the only way we knew how to respond in that house to an attack on our very existence.
And you touched on the Treaty of Waitangi really being foundational and instrumental in the rights, foundational rights in Aotearoa, New Zealand, for your people, the Māori people. A couple of years ago, I had the opportunity to visit Waitangi and see the treaty, and I was quite shocked at the state of it, and then to hear from Māori people about the very story of it, and how there were 2 versions, one in Māori that was much more rights-based, one that was in English that was, of course, less rights-based. In terms of this series of legislation, what is it attempting to do, or what was it attempting to do that you were speaking out about and performing about?
Yeah, thank you. I think first and foremost, what we have is the last of the countries to be colonised is the beauty of foresight of our ancestors, Māori and non-Māori, who agreed to partner away and navigate away from a lot of the harm that they'd seen roll down from the colonisation of Indigenous peoples. The treaty is actually a way to navigate a peaceful, beautiful New Zealand. And what we've seen is that with this government, there is an agenda, the Atlas agenda, the Trump agenda, which wipes out Indigenous peoples for the view of being able to disacknowledge their rights and be able to open up the gates to corporate exploitation. Effectively, what we've got is a battle of capitalism versus Indigenous. Is not new. We know, we've seen it around the world. I guess the strength that New Zealand has, and it's always taken real pride internationally, is that we have the Treaty of Waitangi to guide us. It's the foundation of the very existence of Parliament today. So what we're saying is that you don't get to wipe away the rights, you don't get to wipe away the history, indeed, of colonisation and the lessons that brought about the existence of the treaty, that no one wants to be having these types of low-level battles about whether we exist. And absolutely there should be one law for all, but not at the cost of wiping away the rights of those who existed here as Indigenous people. So that's fundamentally the battle is... again, we've seen rhetoric saying that, Māori Party are extremist, violent, the reality is we're in the way. We're just in the way of the corporate exploitation. And I think New Zealand will keep pushing back.
We do appreciate your time, Māori Party co-leader Debbie Ngarewa-Packer. Thank you so much.